presents the best of college basketball. Today, it's the Blazers of UAB versus the Blue Demons of DePaul. Today's game is brought to you by Chevrolet, official U.S. cars and trucks of the 14th Olympic Winter Games. Chevrolet and you taking charge. By Anheuser-Busch St. Louis, brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. By Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do chicken right. And by American Airlines, doing what we do best. 14,000 at the Rosemont Horizon in Rosemont, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, and fans of the Blue Demons of undefeated DePaul looking to catapult in the rankings with Auburn upsetting Kentucky last night. DePaul is number 2 now on the United States Basketball Writers Association poll. They're third in both AP and UPI, but a tough test today against UAB, a team that knocked off Auburn earlier this season. We welcome you. Hi, everybody. Marv Albert along with the coach, Al McGuire. And Al, while DePaul is looking to elevate in the rankings, UAB just looking for some respect. They're 14-2, and they have not cracked the top 20.
Well, they feel like an orphan, but if they win today, they will only top the top 20. They'll crack the top 10.
And this, a ball club that is led by a sophomore backcourt man, Steve Mitchell. He's the point guard. He injured his shoulder, sat out last week against Western Kentucky. Will not start today, but we'll see plenty of Steve Mitchell. Well,
Steve will be in there real soon after the start of the ball game. He's an excellent ball handler. He's their highest scorer. And the way Steve Mitchell goes, that's the way UAB goes.
And the man that leads DePaul is a junior guard, Kenny Patterson, and he has played very well.
Well, Kenny Patterson wears 2 hats. He's a junior, and some games he comes out and he's the team leader as far as ball handling and dishing off. In other games, he's a scorer. We'll have to see which one he puts on today.
So it's the Blue Demons of DePaul, the Blazers of UAB. It should be a good one here at the Rosemont Horizon, just outside of Chicago. We'll be back with the starting lineups in just a moment.
And now, let's meet today's starting lineups. First for UAB. At forward, 6'7" and a junior from Birmingham, number 12, Marvin Ray Johnson. At the other forward is a 6'6" sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, number 40, Jerome Mincy.
Physical ball player.
At center, 6'8" and a sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee, number 50, Archie Johnson.
Archie, a transfer from Oklahoma City University.
From Birmingham, number 15, Llewellyn Foster.
And he'll be handling the point guard
and
duties.
The other guard,
the injury suffered by Steve Mitchell.
Tennessee, number 22, McKinley Singleton. The UAB coach is a 1953 graduate of Northeast Missouri State in his 6th season, Gene Bartow.
In the profession, we call him Clean Gene.
Closing in on 400 victories, only 4 away.
At forward, 6'8" and a sophomore from Los Angeles, number 34, Kevin Holmes.
Yesterday, coach said if you don't rebound, you won't play.
6'6" junior co-captain from Columbia, South Carolina, 23, Tyrone Corbin.
He had a big game against UAB last season.
6'8" and a half sophomore from Flint, Michigan, number 51, Marty Embry. At one guard, 6'4", senior co-captain from Newark, New Jersey, number 14, the Mac Attack, Jerry McMillan.
The Mac Attack.
And at the other guard, a 6'2" junior from Queens, New York, number 10, Kenny Patterson.
And Kenny Patterson has been battling the flu, as have several of his teammates.
A 1938 graduate of Notre Dame in his 42nd season. The Hall of Famer, the coach, Ray Meyer.
He's lost 40 pounds since the summer.
there you have the lineups. The Blue Demons of DePaul, the Blazers, Alabama, Birmingham. And we'll be back in just a moment. The two losses suffered by UAB at Tennessee Chattanooga by 9. They lost to SMU by 4. Out of the Rainbow Classic in Hawaii. They've won 3 straight since that loss. And the DePaul Blue Demons coming off a scare, a close call at St. Mary's in California, a 2-point victory this past week. UAB in the green, in the dark uniform. And this is Llewellyn Foster, Marvin Ray Johnson, McKinley Singleton, Jerome Mincy, and rebounded by Marty Embry of DePaul.
Surprised Mincy took the first shot. It's not that good of an outside shot.
Kevin Holmes called for the travel. All 3 officials are from the Big Ten, and because they take so much abuse here in DePaul country, they are not introduced by name. The announcement was the officials from the Big Ten. Well, we'll identify them. Bob Showalter, Malcolm Hemphill, and Joe Cavalier.
DePaul has come out with a man-to-man. He took a walk, gave a head fake, and dragged his foot.
Marvin Ray Johnson, who goes 6'7", can play the backcourt, and right now UAB in a 3-guard offense. The key man, Steve Mitchell, who injured his shoulder and sat out the last game against Western Kentucky, will play, not in the starting lineup.
DePaul has to go inside to win. They got bigger bodies and more people on the baseline.
Here's McMillan. So the Magnum attack gets it going for DePaul. They lead it 2-0.
Look for the ball to get to Singleton. They got to get him going. He's a streak shooter. McKinley Singleton.
Foster not able to hit. Tyrone Corbin off the board. And a reach-in foul is called. Bill Cavalier on the call. DePaul with a record of 12-0. They're now one of 4 remaining Division I teams undefeated. The others, North Carolina, Tulsa, and Texas El Paso.
Don Haskins. He won the NCAA championship 20-some-odd years ago at Maryland. And great coach. You know, the schools should stay with their coaches longer. Look at Coach Meyer and look at Don Haskins.
Ray Meyer, of course, in his finale, and this is 42nd year at DePaul. That UAB foul on McKinley Singleton. Patterson setting it up. McMillan. Holmes. McMillan. Open shot. And the rebounding foul on DePaul's Marty Embry.
A lot of pushing and shoving inside. Neither team has the man in the middle. These type of teams are called donut teams. And they got a lot of bodies, a lot of space needers, a lot of guys 6'7", 6'8", 6'6", and they just hammer on the board.
Now the question concerning UAB, the lack of an outside shooter. Gene Bartow does like the team speed and rebounding, and UAB, a club that has managed to keep the turnovers down.
Well, they got to get the ball to Singleton, but they're overplaying Singleton up court.
Mincy again trying to hit from the outside, and the follow is missed by Johnson. And Patterson was cut off. A traveling violation. Llewellyn Foster felt he committed the foul.
Have to call this one yourselves. He comes down court. Yep, I think he had good position. Called the walk on it, not a charge.
2 minutes gone by. DePaul with a 2-0 lead. UAB in possession. This is Foster, a senior from Birmingham, Alabama. Marvin Ray Johnson off the spin. Singleton.
Uh-oh, DePaul's in trouble. He hit his first shot. McMillan's overplaying him. McMillan got caught down in the paint that time. 2-2-1 zone press up court here. They'll hit it into the middle, take the pressure off, and over the Corbin. After UAB scores, they go to 2-2-1. Sometimes they go diamond one. Inside should be automatic.
All right. They don't need another basketball to get it down with these fellas. And the foul committed by Jerome Mincy. Nice pass. Nice lead pass for Embry.
See all the fellas underneath there, 6'7", 6'8", on both teams. Their bodies. Look at the arms on them. This is Mincy from UAB. This guy is Embry. Look at all the muscles rippling in there. Seems like they're like defensive guards, like Nitsky from the old Green Bay Packers.
Marty Embry, a 6'8" sophomore from Flint, Michigan. And a good all-around athlete, outstanding trackman in high school in the long jump, triple jump, high jump. Not a good foul shooter, 58% from the line.
High jump, he went 6'11". The broad jump, he went 23 feet.
And he jumps on the free throw. Corbin, and he'll go to the foul line. Notice Embry takes a little jumper from the foul line.
Quirk, like to have a quirk in your golf swing. Sometimes they feel comfortable doing it, but the more parts you move, the more chance you have of missing. You know, I believe that you should always measure things twice and saw them once. I got that from an old carpenter friend of mine.
Would you run that one by again?
You measure things twice,
right,
and then you saw them once.
I'm writing it down.
Okay, Ty, let's see what you can do here.
Mincy committing his second foul. Tyrone Corbin, a 74% free throw shooter. Substitution UAB sending on Eugene Jones, a 6'5" junior.
He's a mixer. He'll mix it up underneath. His pressure up court, simple little trap. Beautiful ball handling.
Marvin Ray getting it down for Jones.
Oh, Jones, don't shoot that soon. You just come in the game. You haven't been in the game 6 seconds. Warm up a little bit.
Jones was a starter part-time last season.
Patterson has his ball handling hat on now. UCLA play where they dip it inside.
Embry stopped. Embry again, and a foul.
Jones is aggressive. They caught him that time. One of the baby powder twins stopped him the first time. Watch the Johnson stop him the first time. Now he goes up. That's Johnson that's stopping him. Now the second time, over comes Jones, a little bit too aggressive. Foul.
And Jones replaced. Mincy comes back. So Gene Bartow with an offensive-defensive shuffle here earlier, looking to protect Mincy, who picked up a quick two.
Let's see if we can catch that jerk here in the shot. There you go. Jumping to his toes too fast. Has to be smooth. Someone told him shoot off your toes, and he's going to his toes before he shoots. Let's catch it this time on his feet. Watch how fast that his heels come off the ground. They're coming off too soon. Keep your heels down to release the ball. See it up too soon. Up. There I am, a coach.
And he's 1 for 4 from the foul line. Good pressure. Singleton was trapped. DePaul now up by the score of 5-2. 3.5 minutes gone by.
Paul still in a tough man-to-man. They come off the bench with 2 great ball players.
Singleton getting it down low. And Mincer forcing the issue. He stepped out. So Jerome Mincy turns it over.
Not too far from Mitchell coming in here. Gene Bartow can't wait too much longer.
Last year, DePaul went 21-12, went to the final of the NIT, and lost to Fresno State. A year that saw DePaul lose 9 of 11 on the road. A poor foul shooting club a year ago.
Plus, they had poor shot selection. In addition to that, they were young.
Here's Holmes. Embry missed timing on the tip and a foul on DePaul. Embry is called on it. That's his second.
Got 4 personal fouls already on UAB. Still got 16 minutes to go in this half. We're just getting out of the gate, getting off the blocks.
Interesting philosophy by Gene Bartow of UAB. Play a very rugged schedule in terms of number of games early in the season. It slows down now, but they are now hitting the difficult portion of the schedule. They played 16 games. Nice play, but recovered by Singleton. Offensive foul. Marvin Ray Johnson committing the foul.
McMillan's doing an outstanding job on Singleton.
And a timeout has been called. 4.5 minutes gone by. We'll be back here at the Horizon after these words. The 4 remaining undefeated teams in Division I play, and with Auburn knocking off Kentucky last night, there should be quite a bit of jockeying in the rankings next week.
Well, then there were 4. The days of undefeated teams throughout the whole season, they've gone the way of the Buffalo. They've gone the way of high black basketball shoes and knee pads.
I would think, particularly in the case of Ray Meyer, who saw an undefeated club get knocked off very quickly in the NCAA, you don't mind a loss or 2 along the way.
I think it's good to lose during the season. It takes the wind out of your sails. Auburn's a good ball club. Kentucky played 3 games this week. Auburn was sitting there waiting for them and blew them out. We're in a 1-2-2 zone.
DePaul in possession. They lead it 5-2. Here's McMillan. Yes. Jerry McMillan has hit 2 out of 2.
Plus he re-clutched on that shot. Excellent.
So DePaul leading by the score of 7-2. McMillan, a senior out of Newark, who's averaging 8.5 per ball game. This is Steve Mitchell, just came on, off to Singleton, and McKinley Singleton, who is a streak shooter. You mentioned earlier, well, he hit his first shot, so he should be on.
He's on. Now you've got Mitchell in there. They'll all have a little bit more confidence. Mitchell is a solid ball player. He's the guy that runs the show. Play anywhere in college ball today. He's one of the best point guards around.
Beautiful pass from Corbin to Embry.
Give that credit for those 2 points to Coach Ray Meyer and his staff.
And DePaul up by the score of 9-4. Here's Mitchell with it. Mitzi. Rebound McMillan.
Mitzi has to be a little bit more patient, maybe fan the ball out once or twice when he gets it down low. 1-2-2 zone. You can see it in your screen. Should try to get the ball back to McMillan. He's hit 2 out of 3. Get over to him, Patterson. Swing it around to that weak side. Let it fly, son. Nope, don't do it.
Right, here's McMillan off the spin. McMillan skying for the rebound and a foul. It is against UAB.
That's on you, Archie. That time was a close call. Here's the play. Now watch the man cut off the weak side. Now Embry will slide down in inside position. See Embry underneath that inside position all the way. That's what coaches get paid for.
Archie Johnson committed the foul. That's team foul number 6 on UAB.
It is not a good sign. The foul line will get the ball quite an edge now, already in the 1-on-1.
Embry putting it on the floor is stripped.
He'll kick that ball off.
Bad pass thrown by Steve Mitchell. Try to hit the man on the run.
I would have bet against that. In their game against Villanova, listen to this. This is exceptional. They played 3 overtime. That meant they played 55 minutes of basketball. UAB only had 5 turnovers.
They have a very low turnover ball club. All right, Dallas Comegys, the highly regarded freshman, 6'9", out of Philadelphia, and he hits right off the bench. He's had problems as of late. In fact, DePaul has not been able to get him the basketball.
Well, he's not too bashful.
Dallas Comegys, Comegeys, averaging 10 points a game, and he's been doing it coming off the pine.
He's a legitimate All-American out of high school.
And there's a turnover by the Blazers of UAB. DePaul up by the score of 11-4. 7 minutes gone by, and Gene Bartow about to empty his bench.
What he's probably going to do is put what we call a scramble egg team in there. Just try to shake it up a little bit. UAB is playing hesitantly, and in comes the shock troops. Now, if you know these fellas' names, there's the coach's son, Murray. See the coach's son right there, number 11. He doesn't get in too many ball games. He got married last summer to a UAB cheerleader. Her name is Tammy.
Al is up on all the nice social notes.
I'm talking about that because I don't know these guys' names.
Little deflection by Coach McGuire. All right, Murray Bartow redshirt last year.
UAB is over the limit.
Anthony Gordon, who had just checked in, committing the foul. And Dallas Comagese in a 1-and-1. He is not a good foul shooter. He's 57% from the foul line.
What they're doing now for the people out there, they're matching up. So the team coming in knows who they're going to pick up the next time the ball gets into action. Otherwise, they're playing man-to-man UAB. What this group is probably going to do is pick up all over the court, do swan dives, do jackknives, just dive for the ball, try to change the momentum. Coach Jeans was looking at the game early, figured he's getting blown out 11-4. He had to do something also to teach his starters that, hey, we can play without you also. I don't think so.
All right, Pipo Marrero, a junior out of Puerto Rico, off the boards. This is Barto, the coach's son, handling it. James Ponder has come on, as has Brad Tatum and Greg Motta.
Most experienced player out there is this freshman right here as far as talent. Ponder, his name.
Nice play by Patterson to break it up. Motta with it now. Gets it out to Barto. DePaul by 7, 11-4. This is Motta. Marrero. And here's Patterson on a 4-on-2.
Nice dish off. Clinic fast break.
13-4. DePaul by 9. Motta. UAB emptying the bench. Ponder, yes.
He's the best ball player out there.
James Ponder, a freshman from Atlanta, Georgia. He has been seeing much playing time recently.
But he can do it. Went back into his zone. 2-3 zone. Lead around to Kenny's three.
Here's Corbin. Oh, beautiful move. Will not count. Offensive foul on Tyrone Corbin.
No basket.
They were calling, the fans wanted that as goaltending. It was not goal. Here comes the fast break now. Watch Kenny look over to the left and kick it to the right. Beautifully executed. And the guy from Philadelphia bottoms it out.
11 and a half remaining in this first half. It's DePaul by 7. Next Saturday here on NBC, a big day in college basketball. Most of you will see Villanova at Notre Dame, followed by Pat Ewing and the Hoyas of Georgetown against St. John's. Out on the West Coast, Fresno State and Nevada, Las Vegas. Next Saturday here on NBC.
Hey, you got to get all your minutes.
Yes, Ray Meyer and his Blue Demons of DePaul love to play here at the Horizon. They've won 16 in a row here. Of course, they had great success at Alumni Hall downtown.
Alumni Hall, they still play some of the games down there, I believe. They have 42 in a row. The last time they lost down at Alumni Hall, which I call the confessional box, was to Notre Dame in the 1976-77 season.
You call it what?
Confessional box.
Why is that, Al?
It's so small. You know, the walls are right up against the court.
At halftime, Wake Forest leading North Carolina 32-27. And right here it's DePaul over UAB. Singleton back in, and that's his third field goal. Has 6 points. DePaul leading by the score of 13-8. And Gene Barto has put the starters back on the floor.
Yeah, he taught them a real lesson about a minute. It was a good move.
Oh, friendly rim for Dallas Comagese, his second field goal. And DePaul leading by the score of 15-8. We'll be selecting the most valuable players for today's game. That'll be later on, so why don't you watch along to see who you would select. Art Mitchell. And Foster is blocked.
Comagese did a nice job that time. Oh, the kid's tough. The kid's tough. Kenny P is a ball player. He's only a junior, but he can do it all.
The pass from Patterson, and DePaul leads by the score of 17-8. Corbin's first field goal.
Mitchell has to put the ball up.
Singleton off the pump. And Mincy. The pass inside. Nice turnaround. McKinley Singleton with 4 field goals, 8 points.
Here's the 2-2-1. Zone press up court. The ball worked out against it. Get the ball into the middle and break it down. Nice stripping.
UAB looking to battle back. Ricardo did not want this to get out of hand early. Comegy's on the foul.
For the Indians, number 20, Tony T.J. Jackson.
Watch the block here. This is Dallas Comedy. He's coming off the block from another angle. Now watch how fast they get down court. As long as they get the ball in the Kenny P's hand. There it is. Nice little flip pass off.
And Jerome Mincy, sophomore from Memphis, Tennessee. 2 shots upcoming. Just under 65% from the line, as you see, but 8 for 10 in the victory over Western Kentucky last week.
Too hesitant. If he'd shoot the way he just shadow boxed a shot that time, it'd go in. Take your time, dry in his hands.
UAB on the line for the first time this afternoon. 17-11.
Here's the pressure up court. They've changed it this time. That's the diamond one. They trap up close. There's the man in the middle. Get it to Corbin.
Nice move by Corbin. And he put the reverse English on it.
Very nice.
Corbin
From South Carolina.
He had a super NIT and also had a big ball game last year against UAB. 17 points, 18 rebounds. All up 19-11. The steal by Patterson. Put it behind the back and it cost. Nope. Lost off the foot by Singleton.
Now he drives to the left there and he goes up. Nice control of his body. Got good mobility for a 6'6", 6'7" forward. Here's another angle of it. What he developed in the last year or two was about a 15-foot jumper.
Nice pass from Corbin.
Beautiful fake. Very seldom can a freshman do that head-to-shoulders fake like that.
And Comegy's now 3 field goals, 6 points.
Oh.
Steal by Patterson. It's a 3-on-1. And they go the other way as UAB recaptures Steve Mitchell. Mitchell re-injured his left shoulder last week, sat out against Western Kentucky. This is Jackson, who just came on. Tony Jackson not able to hit his first attempt. Here's Corbin. And DePaul doing it at will off the offensive board.
Well, Coach Gene Bartle knew he could match him in the guard position. What he was afraid of was the muscle underneath the basket.
Here's Mitchell.
He needed that. Mitchell's their leader. He's able to get going now.
It's DePaul by 10, 23-13. Comegy's back out. Now Patterson and Jackson at the guards. This is Corbin. And here's Holmes.
Just physically beating them up underneath.
25-13. DePaul with the big lead. 7:45 left first half. Mitchell. And rebounded by Comedy.
They've got to get some guys on the offensive board. Try to kick the ball inside again.
Corbin. Yes.
I think we need a timeout, Gene. Gene, baby. That's it.
An ovation from the crowd here at the Rosemont Horizon. DePaul hammering UAB off the board. Now leading by 14 points. All right, Coach, this has been a major factor in the first half.
Well, Coach Bartol knows this. In the paint, the points that are scored in there usually determines who's the winner. And DePaul has 13, and UAB has not scored down low. It's almost, let's see, we had 13 minutes to play already. Wow, that's tough. They're a good ball club. They've been hesitant. Mitchell has to take charge. Well, they took him out already again.
Well, I think they're going to put him in and out during the course of the ball game. He is still bothered by that shoulder. So now Llewellyn Foster back at the point guard, and off the pressure, nearly threw it away. This is Foster. Singleton. McKinley Singleton hitting on his 5th field goal. He has 10, and DePaul now leads by 12.
What they need is a turnover. But DePaul has worked against this. The man flies into the middle each time to release the pressure. There's Corbin in the middle. See, just got the ball there. Now they set up. They don't go for the basket. They don't go for fool's goal. First they break the pressure, get over the 10-second line, set up, and then hammer inside like that.
Dallas Comegys, 4 field goals, 8 points. He's done it off the boards. A big breakout segment for Comegys, who has struggled recently. And as I mentioned earlier, DePaul has had difficulty getting him the basketball. Everything going in for McKinley Singleton.
If you could just get some offensive help from anyone else, or just some offensive rebounds, they'd be right in this ball game. There's the release. Now they'll set up. Watch how well coached they are. They set up. No, he's not going. He's going all the way. Oh, that was a nice body contact. And what happens, Holmes is so powerful, he can control the ball after being hit like that and end up with a possible 3-point play. Now watch the body contact when Holmes drives the baseline. Here he goes to the baseline. Now watch Johnson go over and hit him with his body. Watch. Bang. He still controls the ball. That's good hands and muscle.
Marvin Ray Johnson on the foul. Kevin Holmes, who became a starter along with Tyrone Corbin last year during the 10th game of the season and did the job off the boards. He's been averaging 10 points a game this season and now has 5 for the day. DePaul leading 32-17. Down to 6 minutes remaining in this first half. Marv Albert, Al McGuire from the Rosemont Horizon. Gordon, this easy one as he took advantage of the overplay by Comegys.
When things go wrong, they go wrong. Went to a man-to-man now, trying to show another face on D. I think he's going to put it up. He got hit. Gordon caught him.
Hacking foul on Anthony Gordon. That's his second. So Comegys, who is 4 for 4 from the field, will go to the foul line. One of the nation's highly recruited players, Dallas Comegys out of Roman Catholic High School in Philadelphia.
For UAB, Eugene Jones re-enters.
Super recruiting job. Pretty hard to get a guy out of Philadelphia to come to Chicago.
And Ray Meyer has expanded his horizons the last couple of years. DePaul in the past had been strictly Illinois recruited.
You have a lot of crack sidewalk city kids. Talking about expanding his horizons, he's lost 40 pounds since the summer.
In fact, we will at halftime get a look at Ray Meyer with the additional 40 pounds. Al, I know you had an opportunity during the course of the summer to visit Ray at summer camp in Wisconsin. You were a camper there, I understand.
No. I wasn't a camper. He has a basketball under his shirt in the halftime feed.
33-17, DePaul with the big lead. Here's Singleton from all angles. Rebounded by Comegys. Bad pass.
Kick it over.
All right, here's Jones.
Oh, that's goaltending. That's their first points inside the paint, I believe.
And Marvin Ray Johnson receives credit for the field goal.
Watch the miss there. Now he gets inside the paint for the first basket of this half. Goaltending.
McMillan able to elude the pressure. Corbin on the pull-up. Yes, off glass, and he'll go to the line.
Ball got momentum. I thought yesterday watching practice at the Horizon here, I thought Ray was back 20 years ago, yelling at his ball players, you don't rebound, you don't play. Keeps his eye up there on the rim, plays it off the window. Ty, at the high school, he played with a ball player who was highly recruited named Xavier McDaniels. He went to Wichita State. An outstanding player there.
Foster on the foul. And Mincy clears the boards. Ray Meyer was talking during the course of the week of perhaps shuffling the lineup for today, although they're 12-0. He had been upset with recent play. In fact, Lamone Lampley was a projected starter. Lampley a hero in the victory over Georgetown, but he's been suffering with the flu.
These fellas are psyched out underneath. They got the shots, but they're expecting to get hit, or they have the shot blocked or rejected. And what they're doing, they're releasing the ball too quickly, just like Gordon did in that dunk. It's more of a pushing and shoving game underneath. The ball out of bounds, 2-3 zone, inside, should score.
And a traveling violation called on Eugene Jones.
Just what I was talking about. They got it in their head. They got that pink elephant in their head. They're more worried about having the shot blocked or more worried about being hit physically. They should settle down soon, I hope.
Kenny Patterson back in replacing Tony Jackson, and DePaul going at a blistering pace from the floor.
But everything's inside. They're pumping the ball inside there. They're relatively easy shots. Here's the pressure. Now one guy flashed into the middle. There he goes. See that? See? Corbin comes into the middle and breaks all the pressure. Dallas wants the ball. Dallas common Jesus looking for it. Nice.
Nice dish off from Patterson. McMillan has had the touch. His fourth field goal, 8 points, and DePaul leading 37-19.
Right now, they look like number one. Early in the season, I watched the practice. I didn't think that they would possibly be in the top 10.
Patterson.
He'll dish it off.
Now this time he tried to go glass. And the Blazers of UAB.
Alley-oop.
Nice play.
Beautiful pass.
To Johnson.
It can't be a technical foul. The guy had to protect himself while he was up there. That's why he grabbed the rim. He was afraid of being spun out when he was up there. Now the ref called a technical foul on him. All right, here's DePaul's basket with the good ball handling. Excellent ball handling. McMillan has the hot hand, the kid from New Jersey. Now watch this play here. Perfect alley-oop pass. Now I feel the guy grabbed the rim only because he was afraid of being spun out. See the man below him? So he grabbed the rim, and that's allowed. So I think maybe this technical foul might have been an out-of-position official.
And Gene Bardo tried to make that point to Malcolm Hemphill, who called the technical. Tyrone Corbin hitting the team. So Corbin now with 13 points, and DePaul leading at 38-21.
The reason I brought that up so people understand is that you're allowed to grab the rim in case you have a chance of being injured. That's the only time. And that's why the rim gives now.
That's the old breakaway rim.
Right.
Kenny Patterson calling it out. He and McMillan at the guards. Embry up front with Corbin and Holmes. Starting lineup on the floor. Traveling violation on McMillan. No basket.
Ref was right on the money. McMillan gave him a face to say, "Oh my, who, me? Yes, you, son."
And a timeout has been called with just under 4 minutes left in the first half. And DePaul leading by 17. Back at the Rosemont Horizon, Marv Albin with Al McGuire, and the breakaway rim. Look at the shot from just above the backboard.
Yeah, we did this before the game. That's 250 pounds pressure will bring the rim down about 3 inches. That's why you don't have broken backboards anymore. Only on NBC, the proud peacock. I guarantee no one in the world ever seen that before.
And it was nice of you, Al, to climb up top of the top of the glass earlier today.
I had you on the rim.
Set it up, yes.
I'd have to have you soaking wet with shot puts around.
That's the only way I will reach the rim.
No, I meant the weight.
Oh. 3:54 remaining in the first half, and DePaul in front 38-21. DePaul with a shot at a #1 ranking. North Carolina playing Wake Forest. Should North Carolina lose today? What with Kentucky losing last night to Auburn? Ray Meyer may have himself a top ranking this coming week.
If Dean Smith's team stubs their toes, the Blue Demons should be #1 for the Windy City.
That is if DePaul hangs on right here. Long time remaining. Eugene Jones way off.
See, they're just throwing the ball up there. They're losing their patience. He palmed the ball in.
Patterson.
Breakaway, a chippy.
Here's Singleton, and he's fouled. Fouled by McMillan, one of those fouls where you do not want to allow the shot, and he succeeded.
Should really hold the guy rather than even swinging at him. There was a possible 3-point play. This way they say, okay, you want the 2 shots, get on the line and make them. Here it goes. Now watch McMillan reach around, slap down the arms. Intentional foul. But it was automatically a layup otherwise.
UAB has had a rough time against DePaul here in the first half, but it has been an excellent season for UAB, a team that has received very little respect. They've averaged 20 victories for the 5 years since they took up basketball. Gone to the NCAA the last 3 years. 2 years ago, 1 victory away from reaching the Final Four. They lost to Louisville.
Oh, you might still have a dynamite game here. I'm not trying to plug it one way or the other. At the present time, they're being blown out. But they're the type of club that can scramble. And DePaul sometimes lets you back in the ball game.
Patterson.
Oh, nice.
And DePaul by 17, 40-23.
Gene has never beaten Ray Meyer at UAB, but he's beaten him when he was at UCLA. Gene Bartow started his coaching in college at Valparaiso and then went on to Memphis State. We had those great teams down there. Then a year at Illinois, then UCLA for 2 years. Finally started a new program. They're only in their 6th year of playing Division I basketball.
They had a squeaker last year, 2-point victory by DePaul. They'll meet again next season in Birmingham.
2-3 zone.
And a travel.
Coach has the lead, less than 3 minutes to go. They want to score, make them score 20 feet out. I think Steve Mitchell might really be injured. When he was playing out there, he didn't seem to pick up the sweat, seemed to be hesitant.
And Lamone Lampley, who has been suffering with the flu, checking in for the first time today. Lampley, a 6'11" sophomore out of Chicago.
2 days ago, didn't have enough guys to work out, and Lamone's father was there. He's a bus driver. His name is Lee. He worked out with the ball.
Ray wanted to sign him up. Llewellyn Foster at the point guard, but with the absence of Mitchell. We're down to 2 minutes, 20 seconds left in this first half. Here's Tatum, who just checked back in. And Johnson, angling. And a traveling violation on Archie Johnson.
Just murder them down low. No contest underneath.
Now let's see. Archie Johnson goes 6'8". Jerome Mincy at 6'6". There's the travel by Johnson.
I don't know if he moved his pivot foot that much. If he moved it at all, it'd be a walk. Nice. Good ball handling. Holmes.
Kevin Holmes has 7 points.
Everything down in the paint. Game plan. Gene knew before the game, Coach Bartow, that was his problem. Ray Meyer also knew that was his biggest asset.
Singleton on a fall away. And last touched by Archie Johnson of UAB. Some pressure from Singleton. Now drops back as Corbin inbounds. Patterson and McMillan up the guards. Corbin up front with Holmes and Lampley. DePaul with a record of 12-0, although they come off a close call against St. Mary's.
Nice.
California. Beautiful pass from Patterson again. Corbin has 15.
That pass you can only learn on a blacktop. That means a playground.
And DePaul now by 21.
No basket.
Foul committed by Patterson.
Watch Ray go, watch Kenny P go up here and do a jackknife and dish it to the left. Watch, he goes up. There it is, dish down low.
His first team 6. Ball number 33, Lawrence West, replaces
Big hand for Tyrone Corbin as he sits down. He's the high man with 15. Corbin, a 6'6" junior from Columbia, South Carolina, and a kid who was overlooked as a high school player. Not recruited at all. Corbin 6 for 6 from the floor. Tatum lost it. Look out. And somehow McMillan able to shovel.
Watch West, the freshman. Oh, beautiful steal by Singleton that time. Quick hand.
Out of 50 seconds to go in the half. Foster Yes, and it counts. Llewellyn Foster with his first field goal.
Sweet Lou, they call him. Watch how quick Singleton gets in here and steals the ball. Now they pass it back into the middle. Watch Singleton. There it is. Quick move. We missed part of it. This three-point play, if he can end it up with a three-point play, it kind of give him some confidence going into halftime.
Kenny Patterson committed the foul, his second. DePaul now leads 44-26. And we're down to 45 seconds in the half.
I like to be a mouse in Coach Bartow's pocket at halftime and come out and tell you what he said.
This is West and Patterson. Lawrence West, McMillan, down to 30 seconds.
Might be going down for one. No reason to be foolish. They got an 18-point lead. Try to get it with 20. Both teams are in a 1-1 now. The ball's been in a very long time. UAB just got there.
And 10 seconds left in the half.
Look for Kenny to penetrate and dish off. Here he goes.
Patterson.
Now he's up.
West. And the foul. So 1 second remaining. And Brad Tatum committing the foul. Lawrence West, 6'7" freshman from San Diego, California. He's been bothered by a sprained left knee. He'll go to the foul line.
Yeah, the man didn't box him out. That is a mortal sin in basketball. Got the inside position, fouled him out of frustration.
2 shots.
Lawrence West wants to play more, but he's only a freshman. And there's so many players ahead of him. His time will come.
He's now 1 for 3 from the line this season. This kid, a genuine high school All-American. One of the nation's highly recruited players.
I wonder how he likes the weather in Chicago. Coming from San Diego.
1 second left. And here's Foster with the fling.
Yep. The Hail Mary shot.
Score, the Blue Demons.
So at halftime in snowy Chicago, Illinois, we are just outside Chicago in the village of Rosemont at the horizon, where DePaul has won 55 of 58, and they lead it big at halftime, 45-26. Al, flashing back to your coaching days at Marquette, what was it like coaching against Ray Meyer?
Well, when I first came, Ray was an established coach, and I was just starting my career at Marquette. And I thought that both of us were kind of physical coaches. Ray was more up and down in those days, more aggressive on the officials like I was. And to me, and it's not a nice word to use because I respect him so much, but I thought Coach Meyer was a barracuda. And that, yeah, barracuda, he'd play real hard. Before and after the game, he's the nicest guy in the world. But during the game, he throws no parties.
It's kind of suck you in and then look to put your guard down.
Oh, no, he didn't suck you in. It was just that you knew you were competing against a gladiator. You knew you were going against someone that knew the street games and that didn't play any niceties. You just went out there, and the idea is to win because they keep score.
All right, and every summer for many years, Ray has managed to get away from all the pressures of coaching at a summer camp that he runs in Wisconsin, and Al had an opportunity to spend some time with Ray.
Not from your hip, from your eye. Up there. Going from your hip. That's better, Butterball.
For over 40 years, Coach Ray Meyer has been a legend in collegiate basketball. But what few people realize outside the Chicago area is that he runs a camp in northern Wisconsin near a very small town called 3 Lakes. He's been here for 38 years. He raised a family here and now has 16 grandchildren that come to the camp. The camp is an extension of his personality and character, just like DePaul basketball and even the city of Chicago.
No one is allowed to get 5 letters. Chris Boucher. Where are you, Chris? Gino. Oh.
Ray, you drive the bus when it rains. You drive down to 3 Lakes and rent the high school gym. You give out the mail. You're the first aid director. Some people say this is your first love. Now, 1/4 of your life has been here. For the last 38 years, 3 months of the year, you never leave the camp.
No, I tell you something. I have put so much of my time and energies into it that I feel it's almost part of me.
Marge, it wasn't like this 38 years ago.
Oh, that's for sure. It was a lot different, and I had a few less children, too. We had just the 3 children when we first started camp.
But there was no electricity, there was no houses, no nothing.
There was nothing. There was nothing, is right. We had an ice house. They used to take the ice, when it would freeze over in the winter, in the lake, they go out and they chop the ice, and they put it in the ice house, covered it with sawdust, and that's what we used in the refrigerator, in the old refrigerator.
The camp has been good for the family because it's drawn us together. Most of them spend a week, 2 weeks up here vacationing, and we rotate the family all summer.
Joe, it seems that most of your life has been at the camp here at Three Lakes.
It's hard to believe. This is my 35th year. I'm only 35 years old. I've been up at this camp for 35 years.
Every summer.
I was 3 months old the first time I came up here, and I spent 8 weeks or 10 weeks every summer up here. And I really enjoy it. It's great to get away from the city and work with kids.
Working with young people, I think that's one of the big reasons I was able to stay in coaching, because up here there is no pressure on anything, and you're, as I said, that you're trying to develop individuals, not teams, and we get so much out of them. I can remember one parent writing a letter. I got such a big kick out of it. She said, I sent a little boy to camp and I got back a little man. It's good because there's nothing fancy up here. It's just Northwoods.
Back at the Rosemont Horizon, Marv Albert with the coach Al McGuire. Halftime, and DePaul leading UAB by the score of 45-26. Al, what does Coach Gene Bartow of UAB do to get back into this? Can he get back into it in the second half?
He can get back in it, and I'm not trying to con the audience, Mob. But what he's telling his ball players inside is that they've got ahead by 19 points in 20 minutes. We can get back those 19 points in 20 minutes, but we can't do it the first 2 or 3 minutes of the second half. And the other thing they've got to do, they've got to get down in that paint and start muscling like that.
Oh, that hurts. He's a tough guy. All those NBA stories are true. You were picking on Kuzi and Shaman.
If I ever hit you, I'll hurt your whole family.
All kinds of possibilities, looking to the possibility of poll changers next week, what with Auburn knocking off Kentucky last night. In fact, going into this week in both AP and UPI, DePaul is number 3 in the United States Basketball Writers Association poll. DePaul is now ranked 2nd, and of course, depending on how North Carolina makes out against Wake Forest, we could see some fluctuation.
Well, what happens this time of the year, these ball players are on the campuses and they're by themselves. And they do a lot of travel, and they don't take care of themselves. They end up getting flu, and this is the time of the year that the so-called thoroughbreds get knocked off.
You know, you're a physical color man. You're unbelievable.
Well, here's the second 5 over there. UCLA, they're doing a great job with Larry Farmer. Georgetown got kind of snake bit the other day, but with Patrick Ewing, dynamite. Talk with UNLV has them going. I like Fresno State. They won the NIT last year. They knocked off Houston down in Hawaii. They're a tough ball club.
All right, we'll be back with the second half. DePaul leading UAB by the score of 45-26. Next Saturday here on NBC, a big day in college basketball. Most of you will see Villanova at Notre Dame, followed by Pat Ewing and the Hoyas of Georgetown against St. John's. Out on the West Coast, Fresno State and Nevada, Las Vegas. Next Saturday here on NBC. Marv Albert, Al McGuire back at the Rosemont Horizon, and look at the statistics in the first half. DePaul doing it every way against UAB, shooting and off the boards.
Well, Mob, obviously 65.5%. That means everything's very close to the basket, very close to the hoop, where they're physically just blowing them out of here. The thing that's shocking is UAB has 11 turnovers and a half. As I said earlier, they played 55 minutes with 3 overtimes against Villanova and only had 5 turnovers. Turnovers are very, very important. At the present time, it's NC, no contest.
And the high man for UAB is McKinley Singleton. He's had the hot hand, although he did cool off in the latter portion of the first half. 6 for 12 from the floor and leads the way with 14. Not much else going on, particularly with the key man, point guard Steve Mitchell, playing only 8 minutes because of that shoulder problem. And Tyrone Corbin has had a magnificent ball game. 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds.
The whole package. He's a Super Bowl player in this type of game. You got to remember that DePaul has an advantage when they go against a team that does not have a big center.
And Corbin is 6 for 6 from the floor. McMillan is 4 for 6 from the floor. 19 for 29 for DePaul in the first half.
Kenny Patterson's been doing a good job. He picked up 6 assists that half.
So DePaul in the white. In possession as we get underway. Second half. This is Tyrone Corbin. And McMillan and Patterson in the backcourt. Here's Corbin. Make it 7 for 7.
Same game. Get the ball down low to Corbin, Holmes, or Embry, and overpower your opponent.
17 points for co-captain Tyrone Corbin. And the steal. Patterson has McMillan and Corbin. Here's McMillan. Corbin. And the foul. So Corbin will go to the line.
Playing with the same system. Kicking the ball inside.
Gene Bartow starting Eugene Jones in the second half. 6'5" senior looking for some offense. Following basketball, we'll go out to Palm Springs. Fourth round coverage of the Bob Hope Classic. That's coming up next right here on NBC.
I was with Lee Trevino this week out in L.A. We did a little public relations, I guess, for NBC. And very interesting guy. Very interesting. 3 or 4 hours.
And Lee will be on hand as part of the NBC telecasting team. The Bob Hope Classic. Right here, NBC Sports following basketball. Nice move by Jones, and it drew the foul.
Real solid move by Jones that time.
UAB with a record of 14-2. They come off last Saturday's 71-56 win over Western Kentucky at home. It's a team that has victories over Auburn and Tennessee. The 2 losses at Tennessee, Chattanooga. Lost to SMU, good ball club. Lost to SMU by 4.
That was out of the white. Okay, Jones, hit his first one. Let's get a run going. Let's make a game out of this, UAB.
49-28. DePaul by 21. They have led big.
Nice trap. Beautiful trap. Beautiful trap. Beautiful trap. Beautiful trap.
And McMillan calling for time.
Very clever. Very clever call. Timeout that time. He was trapped.
Timeout.
And with the timeout.
But it's not allowed. You're not supposed to do that.
In fact, that's what Gene Bartow is. Gene Bartow, one of only 3 active coaches to take 2 different teams to the NCAA Final Four. The other 2, Hugh Durham, who did it with Georgia and Florida State. Lee Rose with North Carolina Charlotte and Purdue. And Bartow did it with Memphis State in '73, UCLA in 1976. Here's McMillan taking it as a wide receiver. Corbin. DePaul leading 51-28. Ponder back in the lineup. James Ponder, a freshman. So Bartow continues to shuffle. This is Jones. Llewellyn Foster on the pull-up. Yes. His second field goal has 5 points. 51-30. Kevin Holmes.
He's getting a little sloppy.
Foster trying to dump it off. And again, UAB turning it over.
Ray's saying, pull up, go slower. Has a 23-point lead, doesn't want to fool around with it. Just milk the clock a little bit. Let's get this game over with. We've got 17 minutes left. There's the power inside again.
That's the first miss by Corbin. He's 8 for 9. UAB in possession, trailing by 23 with 2.5 gone by, second half. Bad shot by McKinley Singleton.
Well, they're trying to do it on their own instead of doing it as a team. Let's get the score. Let's rally around the flag again, guys. Set it up. Go easy.
And Patterson thought McMillan was cutting the other way. Substitution. Archie Johnson is back for UAB, replacing Eugene Jones. The DePaul lead of 23 is their longest lead of the day.
Just pushing and shoving in there.
Here's Johnson. Marvin Ray Johnson with his third field goal. He had a good one against Weston, Kentucky last Saturday, and filling in for the injured Steve Mitchell. Embry.
Oh, you give me a little bit of a Kareem Abdul-Jabbar style.
7 points for Marty Embry, who has been going very strong recently.
That's the way to move the ball.
Marvin Ray Johnson. Singleton. And Archie Johnson. Singleton on the tip. 55-34. DePaul by 21.
Trying to trap, but they're just patiently breaking them down. The Demons are top of their game. Never thought they'd ever be number 2 in the country. Never thought they'd be 12-0 at the beginning of the year.
Here's Patterson. Patterson. And for Kenny Patterson, that's his first field goal. He's run the club well, but his first bucket of the day. Ponder looking for the opening, but played well by Patterson.
Let it go. Don't pull.
Foster stripped by McMillan as a 3-on-1. McMillan. 59-34. Singleton trying to switch hands in midair and drew the foul.
Watch the stripping here. McMillan strips him like you do an old chair in antiquing. Right on the ball. Now watch this break. Kenny will kick it back there. Only the defensive man gets set. Excellent.
For the Demons, 35, Dallas Colleges re-enters the
Dallas Colleges.
And for UAB,
good-looking freshman who hit for 9 points in the first half is back on the floor. And here's McKinley Singleton. He had a good one against DePaul last season. Came off the bench and was the high man for the Blazers of UAB with 15 points. His high school coach, Fred Horton, played for Gene Bartow at Memphis State on that 73 team that went to the NCAA final. Reaching way back out.
Well, that's what they call Phil.
And the foul on Ponder.
The UAB personal is on 32.
Yeah, just watch us reaching in there. Yep, he kind of bellied him. Belly button to belly button.
5 minutes gone by, second half. And DePaul maintaining the big lead. Little shake and bake by Patterson. Embry. And the foul. And it's against UAB. Archie Johnson called for a second.
Ray's upset. He doesn't want him to go 1-on-1. He doesn't want DePaul to go solo. He wants them to stay as a team. Very difficult when you got a 24-point lead. The tendency of these young guys, their heads get big and they start going, no, you know, my time to take a shot. Or my time to shake and bake and do my dance.
And the Tar Heels of North Carolina defeating Wake Forest 70-62.
Good teams win close ball games. So there's no doubt that they're number 1 in both polls this week. Whatever polls there are, Kentucky has to drop down.
DePaul will look to move up to number 2 in AP and UPI, United States Basketball Writers Association poll. has DePaul as second ranked behind North Carolina. Marvin Ray Johnson committing the foul. North Carolina over Wake Forest. Big win in the ACC, 70-62.
Can't play man-to-man, out of bounds. You give a basket every time. That's a no-no. You know, UAB's in the Sun Conference. Commissioner is Vic Bubas, outstanding coach at Duke for many, many years. Let me give you the teams in that conference. Virginia Commonwealth is supposed to be the favorite to win this year. Old Dominion, South Florida. That's where Lee Rhodes coached. Final Four twice in the NCAA. Charlotte of North Carolina, along with Purdue. South Alabama, the great initials, USA, University of South Alabama, North Carolina, Charlotte, West Kentucky, and Jackson.
McKinley Singleton off that last bucket has 19. DePaul leading 61-37.
These are Big Ten officials, Marv, and I think that the Sun Conferences don't play this much of a physical ball game. It just seems to me, now I haven't watched any of the Sun Conference ball games.
Checking the scores. Boston College by 2 over the Redmen of St. John's. And I understand that you and a fellow by the name of Dick Enberg will be honored this coming Wednesday.
No, Tricky Dick, my brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. Dick McGuire. Okay. Well, they probably want to honor Dick Enberg, too. But Dick McGuire and Al McGuire will be honored by the folks at St. John's next Wednesday night in New York City.
Be nice to go back. The school was very good to me.
I take it Dick won't be making the speech.
Dick was a great, great ball player. I always thought that he'd get into the Hall of Fame. As of yet, he hasn't.
James Ponder committing the foul as second.
The black patch on the uniforms of UAB is because their vice president, I think of Mr. Jerry Jones, Dr. Jerry Jones, died, and they dedicated this year to him because he was the one that started athletics at UAB.
6.5 gone by in the second half, and DePaul leading UAB by the score of 61-39. And Jackson lost it. Tony Jackson back in the lineup. Rick Motta has come on for UAB. Here's Singleton. He has 21, 61-41. DePaul by 20.
They tried Steve Mitchell in the first half. He just doesn't have it. His shoulder's been popped out. Didn't play in the last game against Western Kentucky. And the way Steve Mitchell plays and goes usually is the way UAB goes. The Blazers. Oh, inside automatic.
Embry on the reverse. Marty Embry has 9 points.
You almost have to go to the zone even this far behind UAB because they can have all they want underneath against man-to-man. Their bodies are just too big for them.
Art Patterson getting it down for Corbin. And Corbin keeps it alive. Throws it away. Archie Johnson on the steal. Protection by Kamaji.
In-your-face basketball. He didn't know what happened to him. He thought it was raining out.
Here's Singleton. Tony Jackson off the steal for Kamaji.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Excellent. The wind is blowing in Chi-Town. Excellent pass off by Tony Jackson. He faked, give it to the right, tipped it off. Two-hand dunk by the freshman. They say this is the second coming of Terry Cummings.
Dallas Kamaji's turning it around today. He had a dry spell for a while. He had played very well against Patrick Ewing at Georgetown back in mid-December, but since then out of the flow. teammates not able to get him the basketball. That's not the case here this afternoon. He now has 12 points. Here's Foster.
He's big enough to get the ball himself. Every time a big guy used to say that to me when I was coaching, I said, well, get him off the backboard then, will you? Stop bothering him. I got other headaches.
Dallas goes 6'9", 195 pounds. One of these kids, though, I would think will build up over the years. Freshman.
Pushing and shoving underneath.
Marrero on the foul. Pipo Marrero, 6'7", junior. Out of Puerto Rico, played for the Puerto Rican national team in the Pan American Games last year.
Well, Gene Bartow coached the Puerto Rican Olympic team in 1972 in Munich. He also coached their Pan Am team, so he has a Puerto Rican connection.
Yes, he did spot Marrero on one of his summer trips. Marty Embry, 1 for 4 from the line today. Kept alive.
Oh, hey, back court.
He forgot.
I think the ref forgot too.
So Kamaji's called for the backcourt violation, a timeout called. 11:54 left of the game, and DePaul in a runaway. Marv Albert, Al McGuire from the Rosemont Horizon, a crowd of better than 14,000 on here. And DePaul has won 16 straight. They're 55-3 here at the Horizon, led by Ray Meyer in his finale here at DePaul, his 42nd season.
Yeah, and that's the son that's going to take his place, Joey. Joey's been part of the staff for the last 10 years. Very qualified young man.
11:45 remaining in the game. Again, the steal. Corbin lost it. Tatum on a recovery. Singleton.
Field goal, McKinley Singleton.
McKinley Singleton has 23 points. 66-45.
Watch your 10-second count. They got more. They're trying to trap, create more play, UAB.
Nice pass from Lampley. And Kamaji's fouled by Archie Johnson.
Oh, I thought the A train got up there nice that time. Watch, what happens here is Kamaji's gets inside position, but watch the A train come at him.
The UAB first goal on 50. Archie Johnson is third.
Here he comes. Now watch the A train come over.
Kamaji's 2 shots.
Good move, Brian.
Dallas Kamaji's not a good free throw shooter, as mentioned earlier. And he's now 2 for 5 on the days, 57% coming in.
Concentrate, just concentrate. Get your eye in the front rim. Concentrate. What are you thinking about? Concentrate. Attaboy.
Boy, amazing how you can help these guys out.
Most of the time you do those foul shots because you don't concentrate. You're thinking about something else.
Mata, Johnson, and Singleton. And Kamaji's fouled by Singleton. That's his third.
Singleton thought that time that Kamaji was a big horse and tried to ride him.
The UAB first goal is on
McKinley
22.
Singleton. He has been a single bright spot for UAB. 23 points in all. And Gene Bartow making some substitutions. Son Murray checking back. Marrero departs. And Dallas Kamaji's, who is 5 for 5 from the floor and 3 for 6 from the line. 7 rebounds. 1-1 for the Blue Demons of DePaul. 68-45. DePaul on top. Ray Meyer says this is the quickest team he's ever had. A club that likes to go racehorse, love to run.
Lamone Lampley. Lamone, his father wanted to give him a French name, so they call him Lamone.
Lamone has made it back from a broken hand suffered in preseason. Alternate possession to UAB. Tatum rejected.
No chance. That guy had no chance in the world to get that shot off. And you know what? He knew it. There he goes behind his back. Beautiful ball handling. Kenny P. Between his legs.
Tony Jackson. So Jackson with his first field goal. He's a sophomore out of San Francisco.
Yep, mother wanted him to go to Stanford. Stanford wanted him, but he decided to come out to Chicago.
And the offensive foul on Archie Johnson. That's his fourth.
All right, now watch this fella trying to get this shot off. He knows he's dead. He knows it's in Tap City.
Blue Demons of DePaul taking over.
Watch your hand. He got a 25-point spread. That should have been a walk. Don't get sloppy. Ray's upset. He doesn't like sloppy basketball. He's not like Bobby Knight. Bobby Knight, when his team plays, he plays against the game of basketball, not against the opponent.
Corbin slapping it away. And Patterson gives it to Jackson. Oh, he came up empty. Phantom shot by Tony Jackson. Tatum not able to hit. And again. Corbin nearly tapped it in. .944.
Gene, you'll have another great moment. This one's just a downtime for you. Part of coaching. Everyone gets 1 or 2 games a year like this.
All right, Singleton not able to hit. And here comes DePaul right now with DePaul leading UAB 70-45. Let's get a report on what is going on between Virginia Tech and Louisville. Back at the Rosemont Horizon, Marv Albert with Al McGuire. It has been all DePaul. They lead UAB by the score of 84-57 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game. Here's McKinley Singleton and rebounded by Tony Jackson of DePaul. With time permitting, we'll rejoin Don Cricky and Bucky Waters in the Virginia Tech Louisville. Yeah. Virginia Tech now leading by 8 with less than 4 minutes remaining there. Foul committed by James Ponder of UAB. So the freshman, Lawrence West, to the line, where he is 3 out of 4.
They're blowing the whistle quite often so the game doesn't get out of hand. It's a sloppy game. The game's obviously over.
Big efforts by Tyrone Corbin. He has 9 field goals, 5 from the foul line, total of 23. And the freshman, Alice Comagese, a total of 16 points in all, 11 rebounds, 3 rejections. And UAB led by McKinley Singleton. He has 25 points, 86-57.
And DePaul sits in the 2-3 zone. Let him shoot from the outside. Completely control the baseline. They completely control the war in the trenches.
And rebounded by West. Here's Holt. Kevin Holt with 11, 88-57.
Intimidated on the inside. Every pass inside is automatic 2 points with DePaul.
Raymond McCoy on the floor. He came on several minutes ago. He's the senior out of Chicago Heights.
There's only one other senior, McMillan. So next year, don't put the ball on your schedule if you're a coach.
All right, Forster gets it down. Here's Singleton moving on McCoy. And McCoy broke it up.
And he is 27. Nope, I thought he was going to take a shot. Then he has 25 already.
UAB has turned it over again.
There's my man.
Replacing McKinley Singleton.
That is coming up following college basketball, the Bob Hope Classic. Right here on NBC Sports. Lone Lampley had it knocked away. And a minute 41 remaining in the ball game. UAB came in at 14-2, but it's been a rough afternoon for this man.
He's had some great afternoons, Bob. He'll have some great more. Ray's just on top of his game this year. I think the whole world's rooting for him. I'd like to see him go to the Final Four. Maybe end his career a la Wooden and myself. Our last games, we won the NCAA. I don't know if he has that great of a ball club. They're a good ball club, but they're still not powerful at the center position.
Field goal, Eugene
But
Jones.
today doesn't look like they need a center.
Eugene Jones able to hit his first field goal. And Lamone Lampley now has 6 points. Wild end-to-end basketball here in the final minutes. And UAB's Marvin Ray Johnson will go to the line. Lawrence West committing the foul.
Ray has the starters insulated on the bench, don't want any kind of injury. Ray Meyer was telling me yesterday, he was out in Oklahoma, and he said this elderly lady came over to ask for my autograph. And I was trying to figure out how old she must be if Ray calls her elderly, because Ray's 70 years of age. So he signed the autograph, and she says, I don't know who's more popular, you or President Reagan. And Ray kind of thought for a second to himself, and he says, well, I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
Republican National Committee will be on Ray's case.
Well, they need equal time, yes.
All right, Marvin Ray Johnson, junior from Birmingham. He has scored 11.
To give a little pat in the back to UAB, the way Stephen Mitchell goes is the way that they play. Coach Bartow put him in after about 6 minutes into the game. He went out there, tried for a couple of minutes, came up empty. He just didn't have it.
Mitchell bothered by a shoulder injury that he hurt about a week and a half ago, and he sat out last week. Here's Holmes. Spectacular move. Kevin Holmes on the run. So Steve Mitchell, as a result, has seen only limited action today, and he's the guy who makes this club go. He's the point guard.
We're under a minute, thank God. Starting to go down.
Here's Lampley, and the follow by Holmes. One of the most valuable players for today's game are Tyrone Corbin of DePaul. He had 23, and McKinley Singleton of UAB with 24 points. Eugene Jones with 10 seconds remaining. And both Corbin and Singleton will receive plaques in recognition of their selected game, most valuable players. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 for the general scholarship funds of each school in honor of their participation in today's game. Final score, DePaul 98, UAB 63. We'll be back to wrap it in a moment.